Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. You got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, the Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba, not Yahuwah. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua, not Yahusha. It's Yahweh Shai. So got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether you accept it or not. In a sincere salutation to all the octane pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Akwa, the world listening learning. The few sisters who are listening learning. I'm Isaiah from GMS Orlando Camp, coming at you another lesson in truth, fact, faith, and application. Another data application, Lord wasn't be able to find. So I titled this lesson, They shall build, but I shall destroy it, saith Yahweh, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shema Bashar. And I got a video I want to play from this guy, Richard Wolf. I watch a lot, right? Like he's like an economist. So Lord was be edifying. He's going into how this last great white hope, this last great white empire is being destroyed from the inside out. As it tell you in Isaiah 14:11, that the worms cover the so-called white man and the worms spread under the so-called white man. So check this out. Lord wants to be edifying.
Today's program, which has a title, The Decline of the U.S. Empire, we're going to be talking about a number of signs, pieces of evidence, you might say, that the empire is declining. We have easy pickings because there's lots of evidence, but it is important to choose and to make the case for those of you that are strong enough to face this reality. The decline of an empire usually makes most of the people living in that decline filled with efforts to avoid seeing it, facing it, understanding it, admitting it. So here we go. I'm going to begin with a kind of a sad story, but it is so powerful in talking about the decline of the empire that you might have missed it. Bus lines in America carry more passengers each year than the Amtrak railroad system. It's a more important mechanism of transport. Roughly 60 million Americans rely on intercity bus travel. The average income of bus riders is under $40,000 per year. Okay, in other words, this is for the poorer part of the American population as a way to get from one city to another. So, what's happening? Well, all across the country, the bus stations are closing. They're gone. And if they're not gone where you are, they soon will be. What's going on? Now we see the power of the empire. It's more profitable to use the land, typically in a downtown area, for that bus station. It's much more profitable to do something for the rich. Build an expensive condo project. Build an expensive mall downtown. Build an expensive, I was about to say office tower, but that doesn't work so well in America. After the pandemic, we don't need more of those. So what's happening is that real estate hustlers figured out a way to make a lot of money, to buy the often run-down bus station location for no other purpose than to tear it to the ground and replace it with something serving who? Well, the profitable people. The top 10% with the money to pay for those fancy condos, those expensive malls, and all the rest. Interestingly, the biggest of these, first group, is British, buying up the American bus stations. The second group is called Flixbus. It's German. And the third one is an American company, Alden Capital. Now, why do I call this a decline of the empire? Because once upon a time, investors tried to make money by serving a broad middle class in the United States. They don't see it that way anymore. The money to be made is either abroad, which is a lot where they go, or else serving the people who get money from abroad. The empire is no longer strong at home. It can't make as much money at home and abroad as it used to. And so where does it economize? At home. See, the bottom line, when you shake all this out, is that 60 million poorer Americans are going to take a loss here as we readjust the economy to a world in which the United States is not the dominant power it was. And here it is in the story of the bus station. Because you know what? You know where the people using the buses are now waiting for the bus? On the street. No vending machine, no bench, no in from the cold, no in from the heat. The buses are still running. Fewer. They're cutting out those that aren't profitable enough. And for those that are left, part of the profit they're going to squeeze out of this declining empire is.
Hey, does it sound good? Because I'm playing it from a phone. Because I was going to play it from my computer, but I know when I put this video, it's going to freeze. So I'm playing it from the phone. So what I'm going to do is I only want to show the video on the screen because they're going to freeze it. So I'm just going to play it from the phone. I got I got a lot of other articles I want to show on my screen, but I want to play this video first because I know they're going to freeze up this video, man. So I'm playing it from the phone. So if the sound good, let me know.
By not providing you with a bus station. Here in New York City, I used to have to drive on my way to work right by one of the fences along which people, often for hours, had been sitting on their own luggage, waiting for the bus to pick them up, offloading the cost of a declining empire on those, of course, least able to prevent. Here's another cost of empire. When your empire declines, you try not to face it. But if you don't face it, you make mistakes. You don't understand that your empire isn't as big, as tough, and as powerful as it once was. You didn't want to face the decline. And here's an example right from our headlines. The war in Ukraine. The idea was that the powerful United States, with its powerful European allies, on the one hand, with a combined GDP in excess of $30 trillion per year, confronting Russia, one country with an annual GDP of $1.5 trillion. That's a David and Goliath in which all the odds are now pegged on Goliath. But it was all wrong because the empire of the United States and that of its European allies is a declining empire. So they misunderstood when they said at the beginning of the war, early in 2022, that the ruble would collapse, Russia would fall to its knees, Russia itself would break up into a number of other smaller countries. They were very confident the way a powerful empire 20, 30, 40 years ago might have been justified. But they're wrong now. And the ruble didn't collapse. Nothing like it. And Russia didn't fall to its knees. Nothing like it. Terrible human cost in Ukraine above all else. And here's another sign of the empire decline story. It's a small factoid, but it might have gotten lost if you pay attention to the events surrounding Ukraine. Part of the effort to destroy Russia, which failed, was to apply greater sanctions against Russia than had ever been applied against any country. The western part of the world, Western Europe, United States, would not buy Russian oil anymore.
And they just showed this. This is one of the articles I was looking at, but this is from last week. Let me go here to my Google. This is a notification from last week. It says AP News. U.S. imposes sanctions on Russia and Iranian groups over disinformation targeting American voters. So this is what they doing against Russia, man. Which they poking at the bear.
Not buy Russian gas anymore, and those are crucial exports for Russia, and that would bring them to their knees. Here's a little detail you might have missed. Not only did Russia find outlets, buyers for oil and gas, but one of the big buyers was China, and another one was India. And the deal that was worked out was that they would buy from Russia oil and gas, but they would now also sell to Russia automobiles. The Russians would push back against the hurt they suffered from the sanctions by reorienting their economy, as Vladimir Putin explained, to the east.
You see, they mentioned India too. Here's a one. This is live, or it was live. It say Donald Trump's big warning for India, China, and Russia. It probably is playing out, man. The Ezekiel 38. And what's that? Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah 59. The Lord say, he called the Medes and the allies that's with them, man.
And so Russia stopped buying American cars and European cars and bought instead Chinese cars, huge numbers of them. Russia is the largest country by geography on this planet, needs lots of vehicles. And one result, that the Chinese automobile companies are now the #1 exporter of automobiles in the world. Last year, it was the Japanese. The year before, the #1 exporter was Germany. You know who's out of the picture? The United States, once the great producer of automobiles in the world. The empire is declining. And in the time that we have left in this first half, here's a third example. The brand new war, the latest war, the escalation of events by the U.S. and Britain bombing the little country of Yemen. See, it turns out that there are groups, Houthis in that part of the world, who are able to support their fellow Arabs in Gaza by throwing missiles and drones against ships going through the Red Sea. That's a major artery for all kinds of shipping from the Pacific into Europe, a major line for ships. Those ships now have stopped going through the Red Sea because they don't want to risk being hit by a missile sent by these friends of Israel. And so the United States bombed these folks in Yemen. Well, let's go through and see what it means. It escalates the war. It costs the United States very much more money, but that's the least of it. The ships that can't go through the Red Sea can't go through the Suez Canal. They're going to have to go all the way around the Cape, the tip of the bottom of Africa. It's a much longer trip. It'll take many more days. It'll cost much more fuel to take that long trip. And you know what that means? It'll drive up the price of everything coming west from the Far East. And you know what that's going to do? Push up the inflation. And you know what was released a few days ago by the United States government? Signs that the inflation, which was going down, stopped going down, turned around and went back up. The cost of a declining empire. You can't stop this stuff. But there's more signs of a declining empire, in this case, Britain. Now, Britain is ahead of the United States. Its empire has been declining for a century now. In a way, it shows us our future here in the United States, even if it's painful to face it. So how is this an evidence of decline of the British Empire? Well, you might not see the connection, so I'm going to draw it for you. This last year has seen a record number of strikes in Great Britain by what are called junior doctors. Roughly, it's the British equivalent of what we call interns in the United States. It's a stage in medical training beyond medical school, but you're not yet a full-fledged doctor. You're on your way, and you serve a number of years as an intern, honing your skills as a specialist, and so on. There have been more strikes in the last 10 months of junior doctors across Britain than ever in the history of the medical profession. Those doctors are desperate to do that kind of thing. Why are they doing it? Number one reason, inflation in Britain has been severe. Their wages, because that's how the British medical system is set up, haven't risen. So that the real wealth of their income, what they can afford to buy, has dropped, get this, 26% over recent years. And they want at least what they call full restoration. Thousands of operations have had to be postponed. The chaos of the National Health Service in Britain has been worsened. It's already a system that has been starved for funds by a conservative government for years, and this situation makes it worse. But if you close the Suez Canal, if you make a war zone out of the Red Sea, and the ships have to go around the Horn of Africa, then they're going to be more expensive, all the goods in Britain, because many of them come from the Far East and are on those ships. And it's going to make the condition of the doctors even worse, provoking them to strike even more, disrupting the medical health system of the country, and the examples keep coming in. The United States and Britain can't stop what's going on. The war.
Hey, you see how he mentioned the Gulf of Suez Canal, which we came through? Spiritual, man. It's all spiritual, man.
In Israel versus Gaza, or the war of Israel on Gaza, is provoking all kinds of reactions, as everyone knew it would, across the Arab world, and beyond that, across the Muslim world, and beyond that, across most of the rest of the world. That too is a declining empire story. The decline of the United States empire is measured, among other things, in the rise of a whole nother economic powerhouse in the world. That powerhouse, as I have explained on this program many times, is the People's Republic of China, together with their allies in an association called the BRICS, B-R-I-C-S.
The real powerhouse is going to be Yahweh Shah returning and taking all these crowns, like it said in Revelation 19, on his head with many crowns. But this is, hey, this guy, I love watching Richard Wolf, man. He go in. Him and the other guy, Chris Hedges, man. They give you the straight skinny of this felon empire, man.
It includes now not just China, not just the original other four countries, Russia, India, Brazil, and South Africa, but another half dozen beyond that, and there are, from what I understand, 20 or more countries that have applied or indicated their intention of applying. Yes, there has been one country that was supposed to become a member, but had an election change of government and decided not to, and that's Argentina. But that's the exception. China and its allies in the BRICS together are much wealthier than the United States. The total output of the United States and its allies, the G7, the United States, Britain, France, Germany, Italy, Canada, and Japan, is now significantly smaller than the total output of goods and services per year, GDP, of China and the BRICS. Why am I telling you this? Because the decline of the one relative to the other changes the world. Every country in the world is now rethinking where it goes to borrow money, to get investments, to find buyers for whatever comes out of the produce of that country. Wow. And they're no longer always automatically going to Washington or London or Paris or Berlin. They now have an option. They can go to China or India or fill in the blank. And they're doing it. If you like, you can say they're playing one of the two powerhouses against the other. And they're going to go with whoever gives them the better deal. And the richer one who can afford the better deal is now China and the BRICS. And country after country are doing it. Even long time close allies of the United States,
Yep.
like Saudi Arabia, the most important oil-producing country on the planet, is now part of BRICS, not allied to the United States in the way that it was, not even close. Now we talk about Israel. What has
The prophecy is unfolding, man. Let me read this. As a matter of fact, let me get I got this Job 24. Let me come back to this. Obadiah, man. I ain't read this in a minute. Obadiah 1 and 7. It reads, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. You see, now he finna mention Israel. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. And we see this happening now, man. We see the other nations prevailing against the so-called white man. America, Babylon the Great. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. We see this happening, man. But it's all a plan of Yahweh Shema Shai anyway. And the Lord is using the elites, you know, the puppets on the string to make everything happen, man. Because everything got to lead to that so-called, as it said in 1 Thessalonians and the one in Ezekiel 7, that one world peace and safety. It all got to play out, man.
Israel done for all kinds of historical reasons, going back to the beginnings of the modern Israeli state after World War II. Israel has allied itself very closely with the United States, and secondarily with the United States' allies, like Britain or Canada or Germany. But Israel is not going to escape from the logic and the rationale of the new world economy in which its great ally is in a declining phase.
Right.
Doesn't have the dominance it once did. Doesn't have the economic, political, cultural, ideological power it once wielded. In every third world country where they're looking at how to play the G7 against the BRICS, how to get the best deal possible, Israel, especially now in its war in Gaza, is having to make an amazing decision that no one else is doing. The whole world is going in the direction away from the old empire and looking to join the newly emerging one, except Israel. That's making an amazing decision, which is all the more amazing because there's no discussion of it. Is that smart? The enemies of Israel are lining up to be in the BRICS. The new members of the BRICS include Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Iran. Uh-oh. Where do you think the remaining Arab countries are likely to go? To whom will they look for help? And you know, when you look somewhere for help economically, it's usually the case that before long you look there also politically, culturally, and ultimately also militarily.
You heard what he just said? Whom would you look to for help? We were just reading this Isaiah. We were just reading this last night. Isaiah 10 and 3. Because after Esau, it said woe to him that decree unrighteous decrees, right? And right grievousness which they have prescribed to cause. Let me just read it. Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe unto him that decree unrighteous decrees and that right grievousness which they have prescribed to turn aside the needy from judgment, the needy as the Israelites, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, that they may rob the fatherless. All Israelites, man. So the Lord is saying, what will ye do in the day of visitation and in the desolation which shall come from far, which is going to be from Russia and Iran? To whom will ye flee for help? This is what he just said. And where will ye leave your glory? Because now, it tell you Habakkuk too that the Lord is bringing shameful spewing on the so-called white man's glory, which is starting with a miracle, man. Because this is the greatest province of his time, just like Egypt was. So, and where will you leave your glory? To whom will you flee from help for help when the Lord approaches? Hey, call out Yahabashim Shah.
Israel is making a remarkable contrary choice. And the fact that they don't talk about it or face it, or that the media don't raise it, is no reason to be blind to it. The decline of the United States is also on evidence in the reverse. The United States, too, is going to have to come to terms with the new economic organization of the world economy. Oh, you can rattle your sabers, put your ships in the South China Sea, make an enormous to-do about Taiwan. We're all watching that. You can try to push that genie back into the bottle, but it never works. It won't work now any more than it was possible for Britain to hold back its ex-colony, the United States, across the 19th century, where the United States not only grew despite efforts of repression from Britain, two wars, but it outgrew the British, so that now we have the reverse, where once Britain was the powerhouse and the United States was the pipsqueak. It's now exactly the reverse. To pretend that we don't risk that now is foolish. Another evidence of the declining American empire. Once upon a time, the dominant company in producing airplanes, a vital product of the last century, as important as the automobile in its way, was Boeing, the Boeing Corporation. Initially based out of the far west, state of Washington, whose senators used to be called the senators from Boeing, rather than the senator from Washington State, Mr. Jackson, some years ago. Well, Boeing is unable to solve a technical problem. It's a minor one, I'm joking. It's the question of making the airplane safe. The 737 MAX, and now a few weeks ago, the decision of the door in the plane to leave the plane in mid-flight, taking property and luckily not people with it, that they crashed down. As a major industry, as a major export of the United States, because Boeing planes used to be everywhere in the world, the number one producer of modern jet aircraft, etc. Well, not only are they now in serious trouble, having now for years had one safety fiasco after another. But here's a story that you might not know. Most buyers of airplanes do not want to buy only one kind of airplane from one producer. The big competitor of Boeing has been Airbus Industry, a European producer. And you want two because if anything goes wrong with one of them, you want to be able to shift if you're an airline company carrying passengers. Boeing can't play that role. There's a new candidate. Yeah, you might have guessed it. It's the Chinese airline producing company, which is waiting in the wings, ready to go, and full of agents around the world offering their plane that hasn't got the safety problems of Boeing. It's relentless.
And to show you how cold the Lord is, because he mentioned in the China a lot. And they tell you in 2nd Ezra 15, let me read this. This is 2nd Ezra 15 in verse 48. It's a reason why he's mentioning them, man. 2nd Ezra 15 and 48, it reads 46. And thou, Asia, that are partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they may please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. See, and this is what the Lord said in Jeremiah 48. Because see when it said, I just read in Isaiah 10, the Lord said, who are you going to flee to for help? Right? The Lord asked the same thing to to Moab, man. Let me read it. Jeremiah 48. Read this point. So in Jeremiah 48, it reads, uh, verse 2 reads, matter of fact, let's read 1. Against Moab, thus saith Yahweh, Jeremiah 48 and 1, it reads, against Moab, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel, woe unto Nebo, for it is spoiled, Karathaim is confounded, and taken, Misgab is confounded and dismayed. When you look up these different cities in China, there shall be no more praise of Moab. In Heshbon, they have devised evil against it. Come and let us cut it off from being a nation. Also, thou shalt be cut down, O madmen, the sword shall pursue thee. A voice of crying shall be from Horonaim, spoiling and great destruction. Moab is destroyed. Her little ones have caused a cry to be heard. It's for in the going up of Lahith, continual weeping shall go up. For in the going down of Horonaim, the enemies have heard a cry of destruction. Flee, save yourselves, and be like the heath in the wilderness. For because thou hast trusted in thy works, same thing said by Esau in Isaiah 47, because thou hast trusted in thy works and in thy treasures, there's also in Ezekiel 28, thou shalt also be taken. And Chemosh shall go forth into captivity with his priests and his princes together. And the spoiler shall come upon every city, and no city shall escape. The valley also shall perish, and the plain shall be destroyed, as the Lord Yahweh have spoken. Give wings unto Moab, that it may flee and get away, for the cities thereof shall be desolate, without any to dwell therein. See, so they done made themselves like Babylon, man. What the Lord told Esau? Let's go back to Isaiah 10 and 3. It reads, and what will ye do in the day of visitation and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will ye flee for help? And where will you leave your glory? So the Lord mentioned the glory of Moab, just like Edom, man, because they made themselves just like Babylon.
That hasn't got the safety problems of Boeing. It's relentless the way an empire declines. We have to face it. There is no option other than big mistakes like the Ukraine war that are premised on not. I've always said.
So that was it. So let me get these. Lord willing. Anybody that watch these videos I do know how screamy I get down. So what I want to do is let me read this though. Job 24 and 23. Though it be given him to be in safety, whereon he resteth, yet his eyes are upon their ways. The Lord is watching the so-called white man and everything they do. It reads, they are exalted for a little while, but are gone and brought low, back to the basis of men. They are taken out of the way as all other kingdoms, and cut off as the tops of the ears of corn. And when you cut off the tops of the ears of corn, you throw that in the slop bucket, you get that to the hogs. And if it be not so, now who shall make me a liar and make my speech nothing worth? Let me go to this. Bear with me here. I want to show these, if I can, Lord willing. I want to show these. Let's pull a couple of these up. So these articles I saw yesterday and the day before. So this is one right here. And I just want to show the title, right? U.S. shocked. Slovakia. So I just want to show that. Thing keep clicking. Now see, soon I put it on it, the volume went out. I ain't even touch it. But it said U.S. shocked. New Iran hypersonic missile can destroy U.S. in 30 seconds. See, this is why I want to play that video from my phone. Because the minute I showed this, the volume went, they these motherfuckers hit the volume. Anyway, let's drop that. I got like 8 of these I want to show. Just the headlines in the news, man. Pastor Rumlaw just went live. Show a couple of these. Uh, this one here. Look at this. Just headlines in the news, man. This where we at. I ain't trying to play the video. I just want to show the headline. Look, China cut completely export to U.S. with a new export control and new year. Collapse of the U.S. economy. See it? I just want to show the headlines. I ain't trying to play the video, none of that. I just want to show the headlines. So let me get this next one. Bear with me here. I got a couple more. So this one is these is kind of like live. It was saying. Let me show you this one. It's supposed to be live.
UVs and smart
Browser has lost connection to your screen share. What the hell is going on, man? Well, they keep playing. So let me drop this. Just want to show these headlines, man. Again, they say China warns U.S. against crossing red lines on Taiwan in diplomatic speech. See, these is tons of proverbs, like it's saying Habakkuk. These are those tons of proverbs. Let's get this next one here. Here's another one. I just mentioned this one. They say Donald Trump big warning for India. Donald Trump big warning for India, China, and Russia. I only got to show. I can just play. I can just show them from the side right here. This other one say on cam, missile hits Israel's largest city. Many hurt in Tel Aviv. Let me see if I can pull this one out. See, in the news. See, this was going on, man. Yeah. Missile hits Israel's largest city. Many hurt in Tel Aviv. IDF fails against Houthis. The Lord said he's going to stir up jealousy like a man of war, man, in Isaiah 42, 13 and 14. Let me drop this. Got a couple more here. And my main one was that one with Richard Wolf and Israel, man. Israel got missiles, man. Again, they say Israel and Russia. Oh, let me show you this one. And this is prophecy in Ezekiel 38, man. It said Persia. Persia, man. The Lord stirring up jealousy, man. This we got to add on it. Hold on. Yeah.
Differently
On,
from the other guys. We design and test our own tools and sell them to
like it. I just want to show the damn headline, man. These are the headlines that we want to see, man. So the headlines say Iran and Russia deep war breaking.
weapons.
See, now it's saying, but let me drop that, man. I just want the headlines. So let me just read the rest. Man, you devils is something else. And I know what they're doing. I might wind up doing it. These devils, they do this so you can purchase the monthly app, man. To get the app so you can get free screaming, no problems. So I want to read these few precepts. Let me grab these. Yeah, a couple precepts, and I'm gone. I just want to show those headlines, man. Because while Jake out here playing games, man, the Lord got these nations gearing up for war, man. China warns U.S. Say China warned U.S. against crossing red lines on Taiwan in diplomatic speech. China cuts completely export to U.S. with a new export control. New Iran hypersonic missile can destroy U.S. in 30 seconds. Yeah, man. Here's what we talk about, man. Let me get these closing precepts here. So bear with me. Let's get these. Uh, and Richard Wolf mentioned the decline, right? He talking about how Boeing ain't Boeing felon. Isaiah 29 and 14. It reads this. This is why. Remember what the Lord said. Matter of fact, let me jump. Let's go to Jeremiah. I'm gonna come back to this. Jeremiah 49. This is what the Lord said about the so-called white man and his wisdom. And I've been making a point lately. The Lord gave the so-called white man the technology to create these missiles. That's the highest their knowledge go, man. That's the highest they have advanced. To create the missiles, space station, jets, planes, because the planes and the jets is his angels. Where they said the dragon is angel, fought against Yahweh and his angels. So this is the Lord setting up this beautiful movie, like the movie Skyline, which is a good movie to watch. Skyline, these different chariot movies, or what's this Battlefield. So this is Jeremiah 49:7. Everything about the so-called white man is failing because the Lord gave him a cap on his technology, and it was to create the missiles. Because in Psalms 37:15, it said his sword shall enter into his own heart, man. In Job 20:23, it said the Lord shall rain it upon him while he is eating. It said they come out of the it said they are drawn out of the body in Job 20. Talking about the missiles coming out of the silos, man. Jeremiah 49:7. Concerning Edom, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? They supposed to be the so-called prudent ones on the earth, right? The Illuminati, the light bearers, right? Is their wisdom vanished? What the Lord say, verse 8, flee ye, turn back to what? The bases of men. Dwell deep in where? In the dust, cave dwellers, O inhabitants of Dedan. For I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him, like it said in Isaiah 10:3. Where are you gonna flee in the day of visitation? See, but it say concerning Edom, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? The Lord removed their wisdom, because the Lord only gave them enough wisdom to create the missiles. Right? Isaiah 54:16. I created the smith that blow up the coals in the fire. This is the best knowledge the so-called white man has on earth that the Lord gave them to create the missiles, man. So they can create America as a lake of fire. Is counsel perished from the prudent? The so-called white man, he said civilization started with them, right? But yeah, this nigga Alexander Greek took 70, was it 70? I think it was 70 Hebrew scholars, Hebrew and Greek scholars, which is all Jake, to translate the Bible. Nigga, civilization was booming before this nigga or his father was on the scene. What are you talking about? So this back in Isaiah 29:14. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among his people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. This is what we see happening. The Lord taking away their wisdom, man, because they never had none. The Lord gave them wisdom to create damn suits and ties and to create intercontinental ballistic missiles. The Lord gave them the power to create the atom bomb. You create it, right? Test it out. It worked good, right? Okay, now split the atom, create these ICBMs. That's it, man. The nigga that made $1 billion sub yachts. Listen, the Lord, Amos 9, the Lord said they're gonna try to go in the top of Carmel, right? They're gonna try to go up to the space station, right? It's like like a Hilton up there. They're gonna try to go into the bottom of the ocean. So the Lord gave them the power to create these $1 billion sub yachts, to create these dumb, deep underground military bases, right? The mountain carved out, right? They called it the Ark. They showed you the movie 2012. And then the Lord removed everything, removed it. That's because that's gonna be their holding cells. 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 1:19. Hold on, bear with me. From 1 Corinthians 1:19 it reads, for it is written, which I just read in Isaiah 29:14, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. See, the Lord destroying them, man. I'm gonna close with this. Habakkuk 1:5. Behold ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously. For I will work in your days, which you would not believe, though it be told to you. Hey, the Lord raised up the so-called white man, put suits and ties on him, gave him wisdom to create the missiles, man. Gave him gave him all this geometry and trigonometry and all this shit that we don't even need, so they can put together all these electrons and neutrons and all these. This nigga done created what's the CERN. Nigga done took all the elements of the Lord and just created the Lord, man. Show you how cold the Lord is. But yet the scriptures say the Lord want us to be. It says the simplicity in Yahweh Shai, man. We just here, like it say in Psalms 50. We just here to reprove these bastards, man. And they know it. That's why I tell you in Wisdom of Solomon 2, we was made to prove their thoughts, man. They say that. Let me read it. This nigga ain't smart, man. The Lord gave him the wisdom. The Lord gave them the wisdom to kill themselves, man. Wisdom of Solomon 2, in verse 14. This is what they say. Verse 13 reads, he professes to have the knowledge of God, and we do, the water Yahweh Shema Shai, and he called himself the child of the Lord. We are the sons of God. He was made to reprove our thoughts. See, they know this, man, because they said, he is grievous unto us, even to behold, for his life is not like other men's, his ways are of another fashion. And it is. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstained from our ways. The Lord pulled us out of the world, man. He abstained from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounced the end of the just to be blessed, and we are. We are blessed, man. And maketh his boast that God is his father. Hey, he said he's the God of the Israelites, man. He said he's in the midst of us and none else, man. So they know. They say he was made to reprove our thoughts. What did the Lord say? They just saying what the Lord said. Psalms 50. It's beautiful to watch these devils. And that's why Esau said he was envious at the wicked. He was. But he said, until I went into the counsel of the Lord, then understand how that latter end, man. Psalms 50, 21. These things have I done, and I kept silent. Thy thought is that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. So they are being reproved by the reprovers, man. Okay, the cultivators of the earth, man, is reproving the so-called white man. Those that really care for the earth, they care for every plant life, animal life, right? Anything about the earth, we the real cultivators, man. So they being reproved, man. The Lord created this bastard, gave him the wisdom just to kill himself, man. The Lord cold, man. But anyway, I got another lesson I'm thinking about doing because messing with that brother Dumawapi, man. Last night, that damn Psalms 10 and 17, the man of the earth, Esau Edom, man. This nigga is the devil, man. But the Lord gave him the earth. Let me get this in Malachi. Malachi 1 and 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, and they was. They was pushed into Europe, man. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh have indignation forever. Let me get this. So while they trying to build, rebuild, the Lord is tearing it down, man. Isaiah 14 and 11. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. So we watching this last great white hope fail beautifully, man. Job 11 and 20. But the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall not escape, and their hope shall be as the giving up of the ghost. Lord was edifying. Got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah, Kodash. The bonus to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of great millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And the sincere salutation to all the archon pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the archon pushing this truth. Shalom to the Akwath who are listening and learning. Amen. Yahweh Shema shall continue to bless you in your houses. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Till next time, I say Shalom. Wa Ubab Ubal.